larger than life.
Like it was written, we'll be sentenced to life. On death row, through the struggle and strife.
Living larger than life.
Stay in the sights of the police and the vice. Due to the hits, we quit to spit on the mic.
Living larger than life.
Leave it up to Suge for us to have a good night. Went from the hood to being stars in the lights.
Living larger
Yo,
than
it
life.
was all about bossing and doing the things a boss do. But sometimes doing the things a boss do could cost you. Pac, Snoop, Dr. Dre, and the other ones locked away on death row was the reason why the fresh coats would not decay. Jocked and played daily on radio, making crazy dough. Going crazy in hotels, blowing like an AC show. Basically running it from the club to the mothership. Government officials trying to investigate because of it. Stunting with Crips and Bloods, killers and various drug dealers. Thugs feeling California love when them subs hitting. Then Pac and Big was murdered, I'm certain they ain't deserve it. Cause greed is the reason they're sleeping 6 feet beneath the surface. It hurt the culture cause now the vultures are circling. Certain rappers are worshipped who should be working in circus tents. This verse is dedicated to legends in heaven's gates and a gangster's creation of a label you should never play with. Infamous amongst the industry type. Give them a price and call it business advice.
Living larger than life.
Like it was written, we'll be sentenced to life. On death row, through the struggle and strife.
Living larger than life.
Stay in the sights of the police and the vice. Due to the hits, we quit to spit on the mic.
Living larger than life.
Leave it up to Suge for us to have a good night. Went from the hood to being stars in the lights.
Living larger than life.
Welcome to death row. Let's roll through them Cali streets. Chucks is the dress code. It's us on the west coast. Nothing but a G thing. So duck when them texts blow. It's business getting done. Bring the money to the next show. We mastermind the game. Past the kind of fame that only lasts to find a path to minor change. This is a dynasty trick. 30 racks to write a page. 30 rats get exterminated. I fertilize the grave. Turning up in Vegas, throwing cash like it's nothing. Back to LA, home of them gangster hits that keeps the money coming. Got like 20-something chicks, all dimes, trying to get down with the team that's running this. It's the infamous California mob. Forget your little squads. We kingpins, private jets, mansions, and exotic cars. Infamous amongst the industry type. Give them a price and call it business advice.
Living larger than life.
Like it was written, we'll be sentenced to life. On death row, through the struggle and strife.
Living larger than life.
Stay in the sights of the police and the vice. Due to the hits, we quit to spit on the mic.
Living larger than life.
Leave it up to Suge for us to have a good night. Went from the hood to being stars in the lights.
Living larger than life.
The most feared figure in all of hip-hop.
Suge Knight is in trouble again with the law.
Music mogul Suge Knight turning himself in.
Rap mogul Suge Knight has been arrested.
Rap producer Suge Knight is currently facing murder and attempted murder charges.
Marion Suge Knight will stand trial.
He's Suge Knight. This is who he is.
I mean, I feel like they're not going to rest until Suge Knight is dead or in jail.
Suge Knight's pissed off, and he thinks that he's being compared to Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
Because how do we ensure that he's not going to get out and kill someone else, that he's not going to get out and threaten these witnesses, as he's done for 30 years, that he's not going to get out and extort more people to get more money to pay for his defense? How do we know that he will follow the laws?
They've conceded that he's bailable, but $25 million is absurd.
In this court's opinion, $25 million is reasonable, and it is so set.
Just moments after his bail was set at $25 million, former rap mogul Marion Suge Knight collapsed.
The man who built an empire founding Death Row Records, now facing life in prison.
They don't like him. They believe the hype.
Death Row Records was considered by law enforcement to be a criminal enterprise. They were suspected of drug trafficking and money laundering. Millions of dollars was spent investigating Suge Knight and Death Row Records, and in spite of this, no charges were ever brought. Suge Knight's rap sheet does not represent his gangster and thug reputation. He has been blamed for the murders of Eazy-E, Tupac Shakur, Christopher Wallace, among others. Eazy-E died from complications of AIDS. It would be very difficult to prove that Suge Knight had anything to do with Eazy-E's death.
Did Suge Knight get Tupac Shakur killed? And that's a question that's going on in today's world. The murder is still unsolved to this very day.
Tupac Shakur, according to his autopsy, died from gunshot wounds he sustained while he was riding in the car with Suge Knight.
Did Suge have anything to do with Pac's death?
We've never got definitive answers from anyone on this. She gives us one.
He didn't kill him, of course not.
It would be very difficult to prove that Suge Knight had anything to do with Tupac Shakur's murder.
Just follow the money.
There is ample evidence suggesting that Suge Knight was also a target for execution that night, and when they failed to kill him, they sought to put him in prison by getting his probation violated so they could steal the wealth of Death Row Records.
They was able to pull they scheme and their ideas off by me being in prison. Because there's two things that I always say, being from the ghetto, either they're gonna take the money from you, which you'll be an OJ. And if they can't take the money from you, they take you from the money. The only way they take you from the money is by you dying, death, or in prison.
On September 7th, Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur are shot. On September 13th, Tupac dies. On September 16th, the head of Death Row Security tells the police that are investigating Death Row Records that Suge Knight is traveling with armed ex-cons as a security, a clear probation violation. On September 17th, a dime is dropped, and it's disclosed that Suge Knight is living in a house owned by the assistant district attorney that is handling Suge Knight's probation case. The DA's office has been embarrassed in a way that judges abhor, and this is what seals Suge Knight's fate. The architects of Tupac Shakur's murder and the attempted murder of Suge Knight heed Machiavelli's admonition that you hold your friends close, but you hold your enemies closer. They will rape and plunder Death Row Records, and they will also point to Suge Knight as the mastermind behind the murder of rapper Christopher Wallace, who was murdered outside the Peterson Automotive Museum. Suge Knight was in jail at the time of Christopher Wallace's murder. All of Suge Knight's conversations with the outside world were being monitored by the LA County Sheriffs, and it would be difficult to prove that Suge Knight had anything to do with the murder, in spite of much of the evidence pointing toward the former head of security for Death Row Records and off-duty Los Angeles police officers that were implicated in the LAPD Rampart scandal. While Suge Knight was in prison for his probation violation, his cell was bugged and it was routinely searched. No evidence was ever discovered directly linking him to the murder of rapper Christopher Wallace, but just the implication of him having been involved is enough to stop any appeal. That gives the perpetrators of the theft of the money from Death Row Records plenty of time to haul the bulk of the value of the record label before Suge is released from prison. There have been many attempts on Suge Knight's life. The most recent attempts were at Tam's Burgers and at the One Oak nightclub the night Suge Knight was shot 6 times. And now, once again, if they can't kill Suge Knight, they at least want to put him in prison for the rest of his life so that he can never attempt to reclaim the money that was stolen from him or reveal what he knows about how deep the Rampart scandal truly went. The entire Rampart scandal flowed through the halls of Death Row Records. The sheriffs knew they filed a weak case against Suge Knight. Prosecutors also knew that this was a case that they would never pursue against anyone else. But when they have the opportunity to put Suge Knight away for life, it's an opportunity they cannot pass up. Because Suge was the face that embarrassed the DA's office once before, and now it's their chance to put him away for good. It appears that the judge is on the side of the prosecution in trying to put Suge Knight away. The judge has granted a $25 million unprecedented bail, subsequently reduced to $10 million, and the judge has also limited all contact with Suge Knight, including limiting contact with an investigator to help Suge Knight prepare his defense. In America, convictions are not made based on hype. They're made based on evidence by a jury of one's peers and beyond a reasonable doubt. The only thing that stands between Suge Knight and life in prison is the jury. The problem with Suge Knight's case is that it's already been tried in the media. Before the surveillance tape was released, the case was steered by the Los Angeles County Sheriffs releasing information about the incident.
Fire department. This car ran over two guys that were fighting, and then he just pulled back and pushed forward and run them over. Two guys are laying down. 142nd, man. What city are you in? Compton, I think. I just passed by. They were fighting in the still there? Yes. We tried to follow the truck when we took pictures, but we don't know if it's got a plate. What's the location?
It looks like he drove backwards and struck the victims, and then went forward and struck them again as he left. Other people we've talked to said it looked like it was an intentional act, so we're handling that as a homicide. I was told he went forward and backwards.
He ran them over and then backed over them, okay? Damn. So first of all, that's the Suge Knight we know.
If this is all we know about the case, it isn't hard to make a decision to send Suge Knight away for life. But there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. If we're to believe the prosecution, the only thing that ever happened at Death Row Records was criminal activity. But there's a reason why Suge Knight is one of the most recognizable moguls in music history.
When I grow up, I want to be a baby.
Watch out for the cops, at any moment get popped. Ballers pushing the rock, we ain't ever gon' stop. And it ain't no rap beef when we take shots. And when women pass, shorts be hugging that ass. Hustle harder than some of these dudes getting their own cash. Please believe my stack's too big for a stash. Real niggas hear me and go to singing at last. Somebody giving it exactly how it is. Can swear you know me, spitting it exactly how you live. Start with a 50 pack, double up, spend all of that. I get it in all the fly shit you copping, and them girls be bopping. How the trunk be knocking the club on and popping. Look at all the dollars I'm dropping. I got a Tony Montana grind. World is mine. Don't let the time do you. If you gotta do the time, we heated and ain't scared. Just so you know it, you broke, you show it. If the dough, you scared to blow it. Show watch for the camera. Watch how you handle us. Get gals in the Acura. You couldn't pull in a Phantom, bruh. I'm so good. Hop out my ride engine running with the doors open. I'm so hood. Approach life in a player way. Every day a player day. My mind in a player state. The player that make these players hate. Ride and die for it. This how I eat. Dreaming of the day I can get up out these streets. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it just to see one of us make it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it just to see one of us make it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it just to see one of us make it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it just to see one of us make it. I'm from a drop top city where the sky is pretty and the women is pretty, attitudes is shitty, and the kids be witty because the streets is gritty. I'm a real bad boy. Excuse me, Diddy, if I chunk you something and you think you won, that's all you cost. That's a lesson learned. Just remember, every trick got they turn. I ain't tripping, fall back. I got alibis when you get burned. Don't get it confused, like I got something to lose. That you can do the fool, and it's all gon' be cool. Money or not, I can lose all I got. Go right back to the block, get right back on top. Bust me a head, get sent to the pen. Every day bust bread, and ain't got 1 cent. My people know how I show love when I'm on my feet. Dreaming of the day I can leave up out these streets. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it just to see one of us make it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it just to see one of us make it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it just to see one of us make it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it. All the hustlers love it just to see one of us make it.
Ruthless Records filed suit against Death Row Records for taking Dr. Dre, the DOC, and Michel'le. The resolution of that lawsuit was that Ruthless Records would receive 15% off the top for any of the efforts of these artists. As part of the settlement, Suge Knight also received the rights to the name NWA. Because of the 15% that would go to Eazy-E's Ruthless Records, the first album, The Chronic, would be the last album at Death Row Records, solely done by Dr. Dre. Michel'le and the DOC would never have a major release under the Death Row Records label. Death Row Records would decide to promote Snoop Dogg and record his albums so that they would not have to pay the 15% to Eazy-E and Ruthless Records. Suge Knight would often refer to Death Row Records as the house that Snoop built because so many of the dollars that rolled in were because of the albums that Snoop had created. But Snoop was facing life in prison as his murder trial approached. Confronting adversity, Death Row Records would attain new heights. They looked to Tupac Shakur, who was serving time in prison and had filed an appeal, and it was Death Row Records, according to Suge Knight, who put up the bail to release Tupac Shakur, and he immediately began producing results. Dr. Dre would produce 2 of the songs on Tupac's All Eyes on Me album, but Dr. Dre's role at Death Row Records would soon be diminished, and he would relinquish his shares and negotiate an exit of Death Row Records that included Suge Knight being his lifetime manager, so Suge Knight would be entitled to revenue from all of Dr. Dre's efforts, just like Jerry Heller and Eazy-E had negotiated with Suge Knight before. Dr. Dre's recent successes include selling beats to Apple and also making of the film Straight Outta Compton. Suge, who signed a lifetime deal with Dr. Dre as his manager, felt he was entitled to some of the Apple Beats money. He also felt, because he had negotiated for the name NWA from Eazy-E, that he was entitled to some of the money from the budget of the movie. Suge Knight's likeness was also being used in the film, so Suge Knight had 3 reasons to expect to be paid by Dr. Dre, and 2 reasons that involved Ice Cube. Terry Carter invited Suge Knight down to Compton to reach a settlement.
Terry Carter is the little brother of one of the guys that helped found Pyru. Ralph Carter, RC, was a young man that was beloved in our community. He grew up on Pyru Street. He was considered one of the guys that helped get the Pyru organization going, founded, and his reputation was one, whereas other guys who were Pyrus would respect Terry. They would respect him because of his lineage, because of who his brother was, and to a large degree, who he was. Terry was not a combat soldier for the Pyrus. He grew up on Pyru Street, but he was more of an entrepreneur, a businessman. But believe it or not, if someone bothered Terry, he would have the backup of the neighborhood. And so he did have the capacity to give someone a pass. Sometimes the business of the neighborhood isn't necessarily the business of the set. And so if someone said to Suge, well, you can come here and it's going to be all right, he would have a reasonable expectation that that's the case. I think the scenario that day was one where Suge thought it was okay to come into the West Side Pyru, and unfortunately it didn't end up that way.
Your own work in around here.
It's like that, Bone?
It's like that. 10 days on the set, 3 days banging. 10 days on the set. And that's how I kind of like did it. I'm from Athens Park, Bloods. Everybody calls me Bone.
He was there because he was working on a Universal film called Straight Outta Compton.
Mr. Sloan confessed to Detective Barry Hall and said, I fucked him up.
Because he's from Compton, he knows the streets.
Go from Bullis, where Mr. Sloan initially confronted Mr. Knight, to get all the way over to Central, you have to drive across the entire city of Compton. Mr. Sloan drove across the entire city of Compton, at which time he says, oh, I accidentally made a wrong turn and just happened to end up at Tam's restaurant, along with the decedent in this case and a third person.
12 years old, 13 years old, I've been doing this. Day in, day out, year in, year out. It's been a big part of my life. Too much of my life, basically.
A lot of it, I don't know exactly what I want to do, you know what I mean? Like in the film, but I know what I don't want to do, and that's how I walk through life.
So he was messing with the gear shift.
Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to put it in park or he was trying to leave. I don't know what he was trying to do. And that's all I remember. I remember him saying, I'm gonna kill you. And I was like, not today. And next thing I know, I don't know what happened after that.
Mr. Knight was attacked. Literally attacked. As Mr. Sloan says,
I definitely was enraged, man. I definitely was out of control.
I certainly know when I go to Compton, where I'm from, and 3 men walk up to my door and start hitting me, I have a right to take myself home to my family. Mr. Knight was attacked. literally attacked. As Mr. Sloan says, he beat him, he hit him, he punched him, he fucked him up.
I definitely was enraged, man. I definitely was out of control. Like, and I'm serious. I was enraged, and I fucked up. I should have did that because a guy is dead behind this shit.
We do have phone records that show that Mr. Knight was called to the location by the decedent. Undisputable. We do have phone records, and we do have confessions from Mr. Sloan that says, I attacked him, I beat him up. They don't dispute that.
I was in the driveway.
Do you know how you guys ended up there?
And that's what I'm
Is there a
saying.
chance that as you guys were fighting, the vehicle's moving at all? You don't realize
There's a chance. It might be. Like, and I'm serious. I was enraged, and I fucked up. I should have did that because a guy is dead behind this shit.
Mr. Knight had a right to self-defense.
Being one of the guys who was hands-on, who helped destroy most of my community, who participated in self-genocide, I want to be able to put some clarity on why some of these things have happened.
Kid said this. Dr. Dre would have never met Suge Knight there. It just didn't happen.
Okay, so the story you heard is different.
No, but I know Dre. Oh, I did know Dre.
You did know Dre.
And I don't think that part of Dre's changed.
Right.
He is not gonna meet Suge in Compton. Right?
Right. Right.
That just doesn't make any sense.
My personal opinion, which I ain't got no business giving on no street shit, is that nigga, then that wasn't no motherfucking accident. So man, they looking to get shit. They have been looking to get shit for a long time, and he finally gave my opportunity to get him, to get him, to get him, to get him.
Marvin Kinsey is an embedded member of the Compton community and the organizer of Dre Day, an annual celebration of Dr. Dre's achievement of becoming the first billionaire from Compton. Marvin Kinsey was a witness to the events that day. He was standing in a position to clearly see exactly what happened.
Runs over Bond. When he runs over Bond, Terry is in the driveway in front of his car, and he runs over Terry, smashes his head and everything. So now he's not even breathing. They trying to resuscitate him right now. So he like, man, don't look like he gonna make it.
It looks like he drove backwards and struck the victims and then went forward and struck them again as he left. Other people we've talked to said it looked like it was an intentional act, so we're handling it as a homicide. I was told he went forward and backwards.
I tell you that if I were the one who were involved in these set of facts, nobody would have prosecuted me with a misdemeanor or even an infraction.
If this case was sitting there and his name wasn't Suge Knight, they wouldn't have filed this case. They wouldn't have filed this case because he was attacked by gang members in broad daylight who then confessed to the crime.
A gang member started punching him through the truck window, admits he tried to grab his gear shift. He tried to get the keys. Others began to surround the truck, so he drives off and he's charged with murder.
Standard protocol is to charge Cleabone Sloan with the felony murder instead of the victim, Suge Knight. Here you can see Cleabone Sloan and others attacking Suge, trying to grab his keys, trying to grab the gear shift. Instead, Cleabone Sloan is granted immunity.
It looks like he drove backwards and struck the victims and then went forward and struck them again as he left.
The video clearly shows that Suge Knight did not back up over Terry Carter.
It looks like he drove backwards and struck the victims and then went forward and struck them again as he left.
But this isn't the first time that the sheriffs have told lies about Suge Knight. In 1998, at the Universal Amphitheater, Snoop Doggy Dogg was arrested, and he told sheriffs that Suge Knight was behind the murder of Tupac. Sheriffs would leak that document in spite of knowing that Suge Knight was in the car the night Tupac was shot, and that there's no way that Suge Knight was behind the murder. Very few documents have been leaked in the Tupac murder. It's curious that the sheriffs would leak this document at the time the judge was hearing Suge Knight's appeal. And why do things always trace back to the sheriffs? Could it be that the Compton police, who were found to be corrupt, were absorbed into the Los Angeles County sheriffs, and therefore Suge is only attacked in places where the sheriffs will respond? They responded to the location at Tams. And not only would sheriffs respond to the One Oak nightclub where Suge Knight was shot 6 times, an off-duty sheriff is implicated in letting the shooters into the club that night and dropping them off at LAX the next morning.
I'm about to kill her. Yeah? I'm about to kill her. Rude boy, you understand me? I'm about to kill her. Original gangsta, y'all. I don't feel her, no. I'm about to kill her. I'm about to kill him, yeah.
We got helicopters flying around. You know what happened? Yeah, somebody set that off a shot at the club over there.
Oh, shit. Closer to home in West Hollywood, where a night of fun turned violent. Several people have been shot at a party hosted by singer Chris Brown.
3 people were transported to a local hospital, including rap mogul Suge Knight.
Hating ass like I lost my vision. Pay attention for a minute, they don't cost a penny. Real niggas in the game took a loss to winning. My flow nasty, I'm going in you pussies. Feeling like you might as well get on my dick to fuck with it, I'm about to kill her. I'm about to kill him, yeah. I'm about to kill him. I told my mama no hands, I don't feel him, no. I'm about to kill him. I'm about to kill him, yeah. I'm about to kill him. I told my mama no hands, I don't feel him, no. Catch me in the kitchen, your bitch already whipping. Feeling like Nino, house full of naked women. I be all up in it, pussy niggas in my business. Niggas ask me how I'm living, I'm like I'm about to kill him. Red dot for the headshot, everywhere red box. Automatic pistols make you wonder when the lead stop. Overload, change on your brain, make your head pop. Waking up the whipping Flintstones, I can bedrock, y'all. Busting down blocks like a chop shop. Stand up to the 8 guard, get your top dropped out, 8 kilo. Money head Debo, loud pack C4. Pull a bitch repo, ball out chemo. Shotty hair trigger, make you disappear thin the air like you and never. That these niggas the cars all tinted, I ain't spitting, but my cup got bars all in it. My swag gon' loud, then I'm holding the crowd. My clip stand up, my pistol taking the bow. These bitches on my dick with the money got me aroused. She like I ain't getting shut out shit. Well, click down. I'm about to kill her. I'm about to kill him, yeah. I'm about to kill him. I told my mama no hands, I don't feel him, no. I'm about to kill him. I'm about to kill him, yeah. I'm about to kill him. I told my mama no hands, I don't feel him, no.
So just 5 months previous, Suge Knight had been shot 6 times at the One Oak nightclub. It's understandable how he could have been just a little bit jumpy.
It was set up. These people knew where to go. They knew who to get.
It's pretty understandable how this could have just been a continuation of the shooting at the One Oak nightclub.
Sloan tells the police that no one took anything from my hand. So I didn't have anything for anyone to take. We have the video or the pictures showing that the radio and his cell phone were always inside his car. They now changed the story from saying the cell phone was ran over and I never had a radio, because on the video you can see the black object, oblong object being taken from his hand or his side. That's the gun. He's now saying, well, it's not really a gun, it's the radio. And the reason he's saying that is because he doesn't have any other explanation for what was taken. And his offer is, this is their case, someone planted that in my car. That's the case now. They're saying I didn't have a gun and someone planted my radio in my car next to my cell phone, even though we have the surveillance video that shows no one planted anything in the car. That's their case now.
Cops are saying it's clear, what was taken from Phone Sloan
right.
wasn't a gun, That's what they're saying.
Right.
What are your thoughts on this?
I guess anyone can have their own opinion, but when's the last time you saw someone reach down and pull something out of the back of a waistband that just happens to be a square object and then slide it in the back of their waistband?
Yeah, and then not to be seen again.
Right.
Yeah.
There's also the call, I don't know if it's come out, there's a call when Carter's family calls the police department asking, where's my father's gun? So, it's clearly a gun. I think it's clearly a gun.
Now, does this video that we published, does this exonerate Suge?
I think it does.
Reporting from the scene where Los Angeles authorities have apprehended West Coast rapper Text 1 and I'm quoting here, Diane, smacking a slut with his cock. Police spokesmen have said they plan to extradite the dirty earthling back to Las Vegas, where he faces similar charges.
Text 1 is reckless, dog. The rest of y'all are just feminine like Gloria Estefan. I rap to kill. If you rhyme, sit back and chill. Only way you're coming this fresh is with Badgersill. And that's for real, so shut your trap. Cause I love to scrap, I'll bust gats, but I'd rather be busy busting raps. I'm too grown for little brats to be talking smack. I've been in labs since Dr. Dre's first chronic sack. Golden throne, golden tone nigga who rose alone. Right over broke niggas who barely even hold their own. Blowing zones right to the face. Buying cases of peach optimos. Fuck a pipe and some pace. I'm the type of nigga that likes to cut right to the chase. My nuts are big enough to have countries fighting for space. Grind at a pace and make you feel your time is a waste. Be damned if another man is applying the brakes. Cause it's
my time to shine and I'm still paying dues. And I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. It's my time to shine and I'm still paying dues. And I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. I'ma be famous in either rap or the news.
See, ain't nobody preventing me from reaching the top and keeping it locked. You trying, you'll be leaking a lot. The breathing will stop, cause dreaming is the reason the block's profit margin is large enough to keep a leash on the cops. Call me Mr. Anderson, the head nigga in charge of the desert you've never seen, like the Wizard of Oz. Still I'm the boss, only one who can fill in his car. So if you spit to meet your nemesis with villain his thought, you sit at the bar contemplating on taking over planet Earth. Mad at work, murdering niggas who had it first. Grabbing skirts and pulling them up, you was a mad at murder. Now you just wanna make sure your outfit will match your purse. Rapping worse than ICP on live TV, wondering why I'm dissing you on my CD. It's fine by me if I never have to bust the first with any cat who raps like being waxed the purpose. Cause
it's my time to shine and I'm still paying dues. And I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. It's my time to shine and I'm still paying dues. And I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. I'ma be famous in either rap or the news.
Hey yo, it's curtains for these niggas, y'all can cancel Christmas. I'ma black the fuck out and just slap you senseless. Lip split while I spit flames at bitch clicks to get lit and burn like sticks of incense. Bitch niggas be tricking off claiming their pips when they ain't coming with game cause it ain't in the system. Listen, just get some pistol whip continuously till everything around them's crimson. Found in ditches, chopped into bits and pieces. Police seeing them see body counts increasing. I'll get hostile for 1,000 reasons, but at the top of the list is a clown succeeding. Album seen in magazines, 4.5 mics, yeah right. How are you getting props when you can't write? I'm half white, but y'all know I got a dark glow. So bring me some beef and I'll start the charcoal. Word to Tupac and Afeni Shakur. Sweeping the floor with niggas who was sweet to the core. Keeping the drawer something that's gonna keep you indoors. Cause if I see you in the street, you gon' sleep in the morgue.
It's my time to shine and I'm still paying dues. And I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. It's my time to shine and I'm still paying dues. And I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. I'ma be famous in either rap or the news. I'ma be famous in either rap or the news.